going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. It's a big Sunday because I know that it is a holiday tomorrow in the United States, but we're also celebrating Thanksgiving in Canada. So happy Thanksgiving to everybody up here in Canada. But it was also a big Sunday football wise, man. I'm barely making it. I'm keeping a close eye on my stuff here. I'm barely making it in my pool. So the winning streak is on the line. But yes, guys, thank you so much for coming to hang out. Special guest tonight. Now, I call him a guest. In reality, he's a good friend of mine. And if you guys haven't yet, you are definitely slacking. You got to be checking out the COMICCOM podcast. They're doing their thing. There's Nemesis Prime, Justin, and of course, tonight's guest, like I said, one of my good friends within this community. And definitely somebody I wouldn't want to mess with. That's all I'm saying. You're gonna see, man. But I love hearing his takes, his opinions on stuff. So, without further ado, my boy, Manimal. Well, we'll go with Manimal. We're going with Manimal.
Let's do it. Yeah. What's up, BC, man? Glad to be here. Thanks. It's been a while since I've been on the YouTube circuit, I guess, so to speak. So I'm happy to be back, man. I'm looking to have some fun tonight. Let's do it.
Yeah, buddy. And like you said, it's not too often you've been doing YouTube. When was like the last time?
I mean, we used to do, I was pretty regularly on Lords of the Long Box with TiVo and everything. Justin and I were. And then, I mean, to be honest, Justin and I kind of got into the podcast game because we're kind of a little tired of the YouTube thing. And it's a lot easier when you don't have to do the video and you can just do the audio and you just rock and roll that way, right? I don't have to get all pretty every time Justin and I record something. So, no, man, it's fun. The YouTube stuff's fun, but the podcast is where it's at. But happy to be here, man, and let's do it. Let's talk some comics.
Yes, sir. And of speaking the podcast, it's literally my go-to every Friday morning when I'm driving into work. It's the thing for me. And you just recently had an awesome show with some whack jobs from Canada.
I know we needed you to balance them out, man. I don't know why. I see Newbie in the comments. We brought this guy on this week, and he literally couldn't talk about any one of the topics. Pretty much, we should have switched to cards or whatever the hell he's into now. So
yeah. And what's funny is you bring up the cards, but we actually letting everybody know there's a chat between myself, you, Justin, Rocksteady, and Newbie, and every time there's cards, I like. Zach is MIA in the chat. Just doesn't pop up, doesn't care.
Dude, I'll click on it in between like things at work or whatever, and there'll be like 20 messages. It'll be pictures of Rocksteady sending video games to Justin or Newbie doing cards. And yeah, man, I'm just click through. I'll double tap something I like, and then I move on. And yeah, dude. But whatever, to each their own. So.
Yep. But you guys not only do example your shows every Friday. They drop every Friday on all platforms, right? There's Spotify, Apple Music, and so forth. But you guys also do every now and then a little special, right? Like an after season special. So Ahsoka just finished.
So we did that, and I was kind of surprised with Justin being, as massive of like an Ahsoka Star Wars fan. And I asked him, I was like, hey, are we going to do a special episode just on that? Because Justin could talk about Ahsoka like forever. And between the two of us, we could go on for a really long time. But we kind of briefly spoke about it on the show last week, which I feel like we covered it pretty good, and everyone had their good opinions. I think that we might have some special episodes coming up here soon. We used to do that a little bit more. We might try to dust that off a little bit. And those are always kind of fun, like single topic shows real quick,
Yeah, maybe I'm just playing favoritism on those specials because I was on one with Justin. Yeah, right? That was my application to the COMICCOM podcast.
Yeah, dude, there you go.
Yep. But great times. Now, of course, tonight you're joining me to talk some FOC market report stuff, books that moved on the market, and some were kind of whack. But we'll go through that, and of course, some hot topics. Yes, including some drama within this week. Right? There's been a little something that's been going on, but we'll cover all of it. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to all of that. But before we get into it, let's just say a quick hello to the chat. So starting with the first guy right here, Michael Baker, episode 19 already. Yeah, man, the channel is rolling, but so is time. If we're at 19 already, like, dude, Zach's going to have a second kid very soon. Like, it's going to happen.
Oh, shit, dude. Chill with that, man. We're just trying to get through this one, bro. 4 months has been like, and I don't mean this badly. This has been a long, well, you know what it is like.
Oh, yeah.
Like 4 months. I feel like this has been like a year.
Yep.
This is a long 4 months of not sleeping. So,
Dude, for somebody who's waking up every 3 hours, you look great. So good on you.
oh, thank you, appreciate it.
You got Uncanny Swag from Spine Ticks, man. They had a killer show last night. I caught a bit of the replay this morning because of course I was at my 5th wedding within 4 weekends last night. But we're done. No more weddings, so I'll be tuning into Spine Ticks for the full episodes as of next weekend. But speaking Spine Ticks, Sith Lord leads in the house. Sith, the myth, the man, the legend. Greatly appreciate you swinging by. Who else we got here? Who's this big bearded man right here? Does anybody know?
That beard was a little thicker back then, man. I like
It
to keep.
was.
I'm trying to keep it a little trimmer these days.
Yeah. But dude, you and I are not brothers just through comics. Music seems to be a little bit
dude. Hell yeah.
there too, man. So you look pretty metal there. I'm not gonna lie.
I appreciate that. I'm a little bit more emo though, if I'm being honest. It's definitely more. I'm a little more emo. I'll dog myself out there. So
I love it. But Nash Venom's in the house, another local here up in Montreal, Canada. So I greatly appreciate you coming to hang out. Got Steph's Comics, another local here in Montreal. This guy's look, I know you're not into cards, but he's got some wicked collections when it comes to cards. He's submitting to PSA, I believe, for the first time. So hoping he gets back. Yeah, I'm hoping he gets back some nice 10s on those hockey cards he's sending in. So
man, the Canadian crew's growing, man. You guys are getting really strong in the comic community. You know, you guys are, it's really picking up more than like a couple of years ago. It didn't feel like there was as many Canadians kind of on the scene, and you guys are doing it, man.
Yeah, no, for sure. Well, look, to be fair, we're polite, right? We let you guys go first. That's what happened, and then we started to make our way.
The Americans are a little bit more aggressive. A lot of guns down here, so we gotta watch out a little bit. So
yeah. But we got Chia Pet in the house again, another fellow Canadian, and he was actually on my show this Thursday, immediately following Loki. I say my show, it's our show, because he actually crushed it, put out some good theories, and we recapped the first episode. We did a little breakdown. So if you guys haven't checked it out yet, go check it out. But yeah, man, Chia Pet dropped some theories there that I could foresee actually coming to fruition. So we'll see. But Pacino, my man, another Montrealer, bro. Montreal is representing tonight in the chat. But Pacino, somebody I need to get back on very soon on the show, so appreciate you swinging by. Lefteros, yeah, up here in Canada. You know, now that you said it, Zach, I'm starting to feel like we have too many Canadians.
No, man, hell no. Keep them coming, dude.
Yeah, appreciate that. Hard Knocks Collectibles is in the house, man. Yes, happy Canadian Thanksgiving. And you said tomorrow's Columbus Day, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So I'm hoping that some people can make it through the show to the end. Stay up a little late here on the East Coast. Speaking of guests that you had on your show, who's this guy? Newbie Comics is in the house. There you go. So yeah, Comic Tom, what are you talking about?
Yeah, okay.
This guy
more knowledgeable than Comic Tom, that's for sure.
AOA is in the house, man. Another big supporter, somebody greatly appreciate. Thank you so much for swinging by tonight and checking out the show. Now, I think, hold on, we got Hyper in the house, another Montrealer, my boy. Hyper, yep. He's doing his thing. I don't know if you guys have checked out his channel as of late, but he's been putting up some shorts, man, all Mortal Kombat stuff. The guy's crushing it. He needs a hobby, not a hobby. He needs to get out, touch grass, bro. Touch grass. That's a lot of videos. But he's killing it, man, and always like seeing those videos he puts up. All right, Zach, we got to address this guy.
Yeah, what's up? Yeah. I don't know what he's talking about. What did I lie about?
No idea. Oh, I think he's talking about the Ahsoka thing.
I don't know. What did I lie about? I'm not sure.
No idea. But Justin, man, I had a blast having him on, and every time we talk in the chat, yo, he makes me laugh every time, man. I can't tell if he's serious sometimes. That's the thing. Like Justin's
it's that jersey, bro. It's hard to tell.
I don't know if he's saying something like it's a direct hit at me or if it was like out of fun, but I'm like, all right.
Look, dude, there's something about those that East Coast, Jersey, New York guys. Sometimes you just don't know. They're just inwardly angry all the time, and so you don't know what's happening.
The suspense, yeah, I love it. But Zach, I'm sorry, not Zach. You're Zach. Justin, man, I appreciate you being here. We got Nick in the house. Nick, of course, always supporting. So. Got a huge appreciation for you, but this guy right here definitely supporting. I want to say he's my day one. Jewels, maybe. Jewels in the house. Constantino out west in Canada, bro. Thank you for tuning in. We got Ferdy in the house, man. Ferd Bird, yeah, man. Word to the big bird. Appreciate you, bro. All right, let's get into the show. So we're gonna kick it off with some FOC picks selected by Lefteros Comics, and if you guys aren't already yet, definitely go check him out on Instagram. So, Zach, I gotta ask you,
Yeah,
we're gonna talk FOC, bro. You ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right. All right, so I already did that intro about Leftero, so definitely go check him out on Instagram. But don't forget to get your FOC orders in with ComicNation.us. You can get an extra 5% discount when you use the discount code Black Crown on your FOC order, totaling your FOC discount to 20% off. So definitely go get those books in. We are still in time. So kicking it off, man. The first book, dude, Rare Flavors, #1. Some Ram V stuff right here. Did you get a chance to read this?
I haven't. It's just something I want to check out as being like a new #1 and a jump off. You always got to keep up with these Boom Studios #1s because you never know which is going to get hot, right? So I
Yeah,
haven't read this. Have you?
I did. It's pretty all right. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not totally my style, but
Okay.
something that went from Ashcan, right? The Ashcan was on FOC. It was on Previews World. It was available, and some people managed to pick that up, including myself. And we're already at a third printing,
Yeah. I
man.
mean,
So
must be doing well, right?
yeah, yeah, exactly. So definitely want to keep an eye out for. Now we'll see if the hype has died down. I don't imagine the third print getting ordered up, but it's available on FOC. So all right, moving on from this book. Supergirl special #1. There's quite a few nice covers on this one, but like Justin said, invest in the foil, baby, because here you
Yeah.
go, man. Yeah, from New York Comic Con, dude. Foil has been the thing this year. But the foil cover by Will Jack over here seems to be a pick of the week for Lefteros. But like I said, there's some other nice covers there too.
Yeah.
I think I'm passing on this one. I don't know how you feel.
I mean, I'm not. I don't read Supergirl. This is a beautiful cover. But yeah, the foil game. I got a bad taste in my mouth with all of it coming out. You could have done this on the cover B, the cardstock stuff that DC does, and it'd be just as beautiful. I don't need it on a foil, but it's a great cover. Great
Yeah, Hyper. So far, you have comment of the night, my friend. So there you
cover.
go. There you go. Wesley's in the house, yo. So before moving on to the next book, Wesley, just want to say thank you for swinging by. Do your homework, bro. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. Get those grades.
Yeah.
Um, but all right, let's move on to the next book. Somna #1, dude. Have you picked up any of the distillery stuff? This is straight from distillery.
No, I'm behind. All I have is the actually I got it right here, the Devil's Cut book right here, which I'm still
Yep.
trying to it's been sitting here and I haven't like opened it up and read it. I just haven't had the time yet. I want to. I'm excited about distillery. I've been excited about it.
Yeah.
I like Jai Lee, you know,
Same.
I've got a lot of love for him. Whenever I see a Jai Lee cover, I always think of the old, like the Dark Tower stuff he did with Marvel. And I'm a massive Stephen King Dark Tower fan. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. Is this one of because I know Devil's Cut is like a bunch of like shorts. I want to say call them short
Yeah.
stories, but is this one of them?
Exactly. I'll be
Okay.
honest with you. I didn't get through all of it. I think I remember seeing this one there, but
Okay.
yeah, that's something I wanted to bring up. That Chia Pet said the production's awesome, man. It really is, and the quality of these books is definitely way better than 99% of the stuff Marvel's putting out.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's pretty interesting, man. I liked some of those little shorts that we got within there,
Mhm.
but yeah, man. So
Just no more magazines, man. Like
oh, dude, I
Justin
have
and I talk
no
about that.
space.
I can't do the magazine covers. Like they're just, and you know who did it was Last Ronin did that stuff for a while, right? On the
Yeah,
first one. And then they learned their lesson on this, like the Lost Years, and it was just standard, comic book
yeah,
format. But yeah,
yeah,
no more magazines. There's no place to
yeah.
put that shit.
I feel you. It's funny you say that because something that is not on this list, and it's on FOC this week, is actually The Last Ronin is being reprinted from #1 to 5, and it's going to be printed in a comic book form, right? And I got to
Nice.
tell you, man, I was picking up every print,
Yeah.
first print, second print, third. Dude, no, I think issue #1 went to about fifth print, and yeah, it was just stacking up this way rather than in the long, in
Yeah,
boxes.
dude.
They were
Yeah.
just
It's
stacking
the
this way.
worst, man. You just stack them on your shelves back here. There's nothing you can do with them.
Yeah, dude, it's
Yeah.
it's nuts. But before we move on to the next book, 23 Months, I just want to say hi, man. Appreciate you swinging by, bro. I actually think this is the first time I see you here, so appreciate you being here. Um, but yeah, man. Oh yeah, that's true. Dark Tower work was awesome by Lee. I
Yeah.
agree. Yep.
Yeah.
Um,
Namor back in the day. I forgot about Jay Lee
sorry.
kind of back then. He was talking about Namor back in the day. He broke onto the scene kind of in with some Namor issues. I forgot about that.
Yep. But all right, moving on from Somna, we've got Transformers #1. This book got a lot of hype up until release, and it's still getting some on the secondary market, which we'll talk about a little
Yeah.
later. But Transformers #1, this is the second printing, cover E. Now you got Bumblebee on the second print, right? They did him dirty. He's not looking good here, guys.
Dude. This cover, first off, we talked about this too, and Justin's a big Transformers guy, but I
Yep.
really enjoyed the first issue. This cover right here, this shit makes me hard, bro. Like I loved seeing Bumblebee take a round in the face. That was perfect. Like I don't mean it because I have like hate for Bumblebee, but I feel like you have these titles and these characters that are like legacy, so to speak, and
Yep.
it's like you can't have Transformers without Bumblebee, and that's bullshit. You can like get rid of them, move along. Let's get some other covers or other
Yep.
characters on. So
Yeah, I agree. And Chiapet saying that that's a cover. Bumblebee isn't looking good. Goldbug on the way, and yeah, man, dude, yeah, this is the cover in my
yeah,
opinion by Lefteros. Of
it's a
course,
good
this
one.
is why he's selected, but there are some nice covers as well on FOC. Second print, multiple covers, pretty interesting to see coming out of Transformer. But all right, moving on from this, we've got the big one in my opinion. This I'm pumped for.
Hell yeah.
But we're getting Punisher #1. First appearance of the new Punisher, Joe Garrison. We saw the announcement at San Diego Comic-Con, which it was fun to see that San Diego Comic-Con didn't have anything really related to what's happening MCU related, DCU, and so forth. Nope, we got comic talk, and this was one of the main topics coming out of San Diego Comic-Con. I'm excited as hell for this.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
definitely. I mean, I was worried when they announced the Punisher. The first kind of reveal we got was, hey, there's going to be a new Punisher on the way. And I was afraid Marvel was going to do some bullshit and make it either, like an existing character taking on the
Yeah.
Punisher mantle or, I don't know, some kind of like check the box type character,
Yeah.
and of course we don't know what's going to happen with Joe Garrison and what his backstory is, but I love it. All new character, move the Punisher forward. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm excited for this.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. When they had the blank, and we had no idea who it was going to be, right? Like you
Yeah.
said, I thought it was going to be somebody that was already in existence within Marvel Comics. I was thinking Savage Avengers. Remember when Miles
Right.
Deathlock thing,
Yeah,
all,
yeah,
all that stuff?
for sure.
So I thought maybe we're going that route, maybe Deathlock himself. But I'm happy. I was hoping for somebody totally new because this is refreshing. So let's see
I'm
if we can get
surprised
a good Punisher story.
I'm surprised it wasn't Ms. Marvel. Like you totally could see Marvel being like, "Oh, Ms. Marvel as the Punisher," like just trying to shove her down your throat even further.
Jesus, yeah. Oh man. Well, look, I mean, okay, we all knew they did that simply because they wanted to tie it, into what's happening in the MCU. But that
Yeah.
that death, like, they brought that shit back faster
Yeah,
than
dude, that
anything I've ever
was
seen.
so pointless. It
Yeah.
was so pointless.
But all right, moving on from this one, man. Star Wars High Republic #1. I believe this is the third volume now
Mhm.
coming out of Star Wars The High Republic under Marvel. But first issue of there you go, the third High Republic series, possible intro of the Children of the Storm. Dude, I'm not the biggest Star Wars guy, but I know how much everybody was hyped when the first volume of this dropped
Yeah.
under Marvel. Everybody was picking that stuff up. I picked it up and read it until about issue 5. I lost interest after that.
Okay.
But yeah, man, are you picking this one up?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. So, you had the first volume was kind of all the new High Republic stuff, introducing the universe. And I can see why you would get a little like turned off from it because they were doing something a little different too, mixing with they put out a lot of novels as well. And I don't want to say you had to read everything to get the full story, but
Yeah.
you kind of did in a way. I mean,
Yep.
some characters developed a little bit more in the novels and jumping back and forth between like the
Yep.
adventures and stuff. But phase 2 was garbage. It was 10 issues and it was like pre-phase 1. And we'll see if that develops into something phase 3. But I'm excited for phase 3. I want to know what happened after the Nile took down Starlight.
Yeah.
And then yeah, dude, I'm excited. They had the first issue last week of it's like a mini series, Starlight Cathedral, or what was it called? Something. And it was great.
Yeah.
Charles Soule, it was awesome.
Yeah, I know which one you were talking about, but I actually like the whole Nile guy character. Like
Yeah,
that
Marching Row is awesome.
yeah,
Yeah.
reading it, I thought that was a character that stood out 100%, but like I said, as of issue 5, I was kind of like done with it.
Yeah, I can hear that. I can see
Yeah.
that.
But yeah, so I don't know. I'll probably pick up a copy just in case. I don't want to miss the boat.
Right?
But all right, moving on from this, we've got some other picks here. The Infinity Gauntlet variant is absolutely cool, man. I really like this. It's Deadpool 7 Slaughters #1. This one here is by Ryan Brown. To be honest with you, I also want to pick up that Garson. I don't know if you saw it, the whole collage one.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
it's available there, but I feel like I gotta pick only one because it's a 9.99 book, man.
Yeah.
It's that hurts us Canadians on the
Dude,
on
it
the
hurts us
exchange.
Americans too. It's crazy. It's an
No kidding.
insane price.
Yeah, and of course you've also got Punisher #1, like we spoke about, but this is the Scotty Young, and we all know Scotty Young covers just do so well on the secondary market. So
Mhm.
I'm definitely locking one of these down.
Yeah, that's a good
Yep.
cover.
Yep. And like we said, some other picks here. We were talking about this one a little backstage. I think Savage, Red Sonja, #1. This is the Adams cover. Dude, it
Mhm.
is a banger. I think this is a
Yeah.
beautiful cover. Are you
Yeah.
picking this one up?
No, I mean, I don't pick up a lot of stuff for covers and
Yep.
like the art. I like the art, but it's not really my. It's never been my thing, and I don't read much Red Sonja. But this is a beautiful cover. Arthur Adams is awesome.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, I can see why someone would want this cover for sure. But yeah, it's not really for me. So
Yeah. And to your right, you've got the Red Light #1. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is a total pass for me, but it's a
mhm.
Frank Cho cover, and I do think it's a neat cover, but something I'm totally gonna pass on. But
Yeah,
that Red Sonja, I just might pick that up.
yeah, it's good. That
Yep.
looks good.
All right, man. Zach, those were the picks of the week. So you
Hell
can
yeah.
support Lefteros by following Comic Nation US. And of course, like I said, guys, we're still in time to get those orders in. And make sure you use Black Crown as the discount code for an additional 5% off your total order, totaling it off to 20% off of cover price. So there you go. And of course, support Cover Price. Go visit their website to check out all their latest when it comes to top tens and after market stuff. The Shakers list is my favorite. So
And
there you go.
shout out to Lefteros, and not because he just said something nice about me in the comments. I was planning on saying this anyway, but I kind of I definitely kind of get in my own realm where I look at I have the websites I look at and I just kind of follow them. But obviously I kind of came across Lefteros on Instagram not too long ago and scrolling through his pictures. Love it, dude. Like there's so many times I see stuff. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like I was gonna miss that, and now I got my eye on that. I think the one that
Yep.
comes to mind was the Jonathan or oh shit, the negative variant of the Thanos one. I was like,
Yes.
oh,
Yeah.
okay, perfect. Okay, awesome. So
Yeah.
follow him on Instagram, man. He has a great page and does good work out there, man. So thank you.
He does, man. He puts out great information, man. I'm a big, well, forget, big supporter of what he
Yeah.
does, but I have a high appreciation because the guy's just putting out that info for everybody
Hell yeah.
for what it's worth. All right, man. So we're gonna get into some market talk, dude. Like I said, there's some interesting books that went on the market. Dude, I just realized you're in a t-shirt. I'm in a sweater. You realize it's cold here? It's
What?
freezing.
What's the temperature? Let's see.
We're at like I think 6 degrees Celsius, man. It's terrible.
What the
We
bro? I
went
don't know what Celsius is. You probably also use the metric system or some shit, right?
we
Like I
do.
don't.
We do.
Um, it's 74 here. We couldn't be further apart. We're literally the breadth of the United States apart. Like I'm Texas, dude, El Paso. Like I'm on the border. I'm a stone's throw away from Juarez, Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 74 degrees here. It's really nice.
Yeah, you're a lucky man. But all right, let's get
What
into
the
the
hell? Wait,
market.
no. First off, what's Celsius? What's your 6 Celsius? What the hell is
Yeah, I
that?
don't know. It's probably like
I gotta convert this shit. I gotta
it's
figure this
probably
out.
like I don't know, 15 Fahrenheit. I'm gonna guess. That's my guess. I'm horrible at these
15?
conversions. Let's
Okay,
see.
hold on. I know we're getting sidetracked here. So okay,
No,
you
it's
said
totally
it's
worth it. Totally worth it.
6. It's 46 degrees Celsius is what you are, right?
Correct.
42 degrees there? Holy shit. Okay, yeah, I'd be wearing a sweater too. That's
My
cold as shit.
conversion was beyond off. That was some newbie math right there.
Well, yeah.
But all right.
Stay warm, brother.
Yeah, exactly. So, market report. Let's get into some of those books that made some splashes on the secondary market. So, Zach,
Yeah.
I gotta ask, are you
Okay.
ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. All right, guys, this is the fun part. This is my favorite part, but it's the market report. And of course, all this information I've gathered is from CBSI, cover price, eBay, Go Collect, and so forth. In no particular order. We go through the books, whether it was #1 or number 20, it doesn't matter. Books we select just to discuss because some of them tend to impress me. And now I try to not have repetitive books. But Zach,
Yeah.
unfortunately, I got to talk about this one because we are at 3 weeks straight we've got Wolverine 37, man. So this was apparently the one per store, but it really wasn't one per store.
Right.
Apparently, we learned last week it was one per account. Um, yeah, exactly. So if you ordered through Penguin, you got one, and if you ordered through Diamond, you got another one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but 103 copies sold at a 7-day trend, which is pretty impressive. Number one on cover price, and the raw high was $100, dude,
It's
for this right here. And near mint face market value is 59 US. Yeah, buddy. What's your thoughts?
I mean, it's a beautiful cover. Excuse me. I definitely like it a lot. And when I kind of first saw it, I was already behind the boat on it. And I try not to chase like the FOMO stuff, right? Because one, like I said, I don't really collect for the art. Some books I would. I'd have to be something special. But I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say. Will this hold this value? I think
Yeah,
you've got a good chance of this book holding that value because of the character and Capullo doing the art, right? And so it's very much it's got a shot. It's got a shot of holding that value.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm not going to chase it. But it's a good book. It's a good looking book.
Yeah, and kind of like I was talking about last week with Infamous Jeb is that you ordered these books, but they didn't come in a clean shape, dude. Apparently, they were sent
Yeah.
in those little poly bags, and that was pretty much it. Like they were thrown in there.
So that's some bullshit, right? Like if you do these any kind of the ratio variants or these one per stores and stuff like that, like it's an incentive for the LCS, right? To purchase X number of copies, and here's your extra book. It's kind of almost like a customer appreciation type situation, you think, from the publisher.
Yeah,
You should go out of your way to make these should be 9/8. If these aren't 9/8, that's a problem. And honestly, they really should be some form of like trade-ins for 9/8, I guess. I mean, of course, this is like an unrealistic world that I'm describing here, but that's
yeah,
kind of bullshit.
yeah, exactly. And of course, this is the return of Capullo coming back to Marvel. So
Yeah.
a lot of people really wanted this book based on that. But I think once the thank you variants came out, everybody forgot about the regular cover completely. Everybody flocked to this
Yeah.
one.
And Chia Pet brings up a good point. Marvel production's not great.
Yeah,
Look, DC struggles in a lot of aspects in terms of like their story and stuff like that. But the one thing they do right is that cardstock cover on their books is
yeah,
awesome. Like, I
yeah.
don't know why
So
Marvel doesn't pick that up. Maybe there's a cost. Maybe that's why DC doesn't do so well because the cost isn't very effective. I don't know. But that cardstock stays good. I mean, you can almost get a 9/8 on anything in DC right now.
right,
Yeah.
exactly, man. And dude, I'm seeing 9/9s coming back with DC. So yeah, there you have it. Hood Rat's in the house, man. Yo, what's up, Hood guys? Hood
What up,
Rat.
man?
I'll give you guys a little insight, but Hood Rat's gonna be on the channel in a couple weeks, so I'm looking forward to that. Stay tuned for that. But all right, man. Moving on from this book, we've got now. This is a banger of a cover.
Yeah.
It's Star Wars Doctor Aphra, number 36, the 1 in 100. Covers by EM Gist. Raw high, $215. Near mint face market values at 184 US dollars. Number 11 on cover price. Now I know our brother Justin already got one,
Oh yeah.
right? There was no way he was missing
There's
this.
no way, dude. There's no way. This is his go-to shit right here.
Yeah.
So
He totally bought it for the owl. But
yeah.
yeah, man. Did you have the opportunity to pick one up? What's your thoughts on this?
No, great book. Once again, not something I really like chase after. Gist or however you pronounce his
Yeah.
name does great Star Wars covers. This is it's gorgeous. It looks like a painting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really great book for sure.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And we just learned right now he's got two of them. And then this doesn't surprise me one
Yeah.
bit.
No, not at all. One raw, and then he'll probably yeah, he's getting one signed, of course. That's what.
Of course, yeah. And I had no idea. I'm gonna be at New York Comic Con. So that's pretty cool, man.
Ashley
Like
Eckstein's probably going to put a restraining order out on Justin, dude, because every time she goes somewhere, he's there getting signatures. Yeah, so
yeah. But yeah, cool cover, man. I mean, I hope he didn't pay what we're seeing here on the on the aftermarket.
yeah,
But
I mean, but like if this is your book, it's like obviously prices are crazy sometimes, right? But like
yeah,
if this is your book and this is in your personal collection that you're never getting rid of, go for it, man. Like
yeah,
spend your money. Hell,
100%. Or get two and flip one. That's
yeah.
probably what he's doing.
Oh no, these will stay. Justin will keep these ones.
No, I know.
Yeah,
I'm just bugging him. But
yeah,
all right, man. Moving on to the next book. This was interesting to see pop up on the list, but Swamp Thing number 9. Now you got the cover by Bernie Wrightson, And you've got a CGC 98 sale, $449 US. Near mid
Well,
face market value is $87 in a raw. Coming in at number 16 on cover price, man. I love the cover. I think it's
yeah. Oh,
one of the best Swamp Thing covers, to be honest with you.
yeah.
But yeah, man. So pretty impressive. $449, man. What's your thoughts?
It's classic. I mean, it's really got that vibe of the old school original like Swamp Thing. It's got the horror vibes. It's got like the almost like the pre-code horror type,
Yeah,
like the way it's set up format. It's awesome. It really, and the 20 cents on the top. Like, yes, this is a beautiful cover.
yeah. It's funny you mentioned that because that 20 cents pops out just almost as much as the DC logo, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if only
Nowadays,
that price was was legit, right?
yeah. Nowadays they're just hiding the cover prices, like very little in the
Yeah.
barcode, so
Yeah.
you get
Exactly.
slapped at the counter. But all right, man. Moving on from this one, the Omega Man issue number 3, dude. Now, clearly, since James Gunn, took over with what's his name?
Mhm.
I forgot the other guy's name. I'm having a blank, but regardless, ever since there's been talks of multiple characters that may make their way within the DC universe on the big screen, right? And Lobo being one of them. So you've got the first appearance of Lobo here. CGC 98 sold for $574 Canadian. Near mid face market value in US dollars is 65. This one came in at number 17 on cover price. And I swear to God, this book always like passes under my nose. I'm about to pick it up and I don't.
Yeah.
It always happens.
Yeah, this book comes around all the time. I mean, when I think of like, if you were to ask me off the top of my head, like what books do you see over the years continuously? It's this book. You always see Spawn 1. And I feel like for a long time you always saw the New Mutants 98, the Deadpool book, right? This book always comes back around, and I think it's just because there's a lot of copies out there, and
Yeah.
Lobo is kind of a fan favorite character. Um, I've never really had an interest in picking up this book. I'm not really sure this book is a good book for like the flip necessarily because I just don't know if this book will ever it'll come up and it'll go down like we've seen over these past couple of years, and
Yeah.
that's not really like something I'm too interested in. But now if you're a Lobo fan, awesome, but
Yeah.
so and yeah, Momoa possibly is Lobo, right? We'll see what happens in Aquaman 2, like the most worthless or pointless movie in DC history, but um
It's up there with Shazam too, bro.
yeah, which sucks because honestly, like I think Justin and I were talking about, I thought the trailer for Aquaman 2 looked really cool. And but you kind of go into it like, what's the point?
Yeah,
So we'll see.
exactly, man. But I agree with the whole Lobo Jason Momoa statement. Obviously, that's something that everybody sees taking place, right? He would
Right.
be a great fit for it. But having seen him as Aquaman, I don't know if that'll. I don't know. Like, are we willing to accept it? Kind of like Chris Evans as
Right. I mean,
one form to
y-
Captain America.
right. No one saw that coming, but that worked. So who knows?
Exactly. But before we move on to the next book, we've got Trev the Shipping Guru in the house, man. He's going live at 10 p.m. Eastern time. So very shortly, guys, make sure to head over to his channel immediately after the show and go show some support, sub up, show some love, man. And then, of course, Dan De La Torre popped into the house, man. Dan De La Torre, dude, I love this guy. He's a gem within our little community here, and always appreciate you, Dan. All right. Let's move on to the next book. Dude, I'm a fan of DMX. I like DMX.
Of
And I thought,
course.
yeah, this was awesome, man. But all new Wolverine #1. This is the
Yeah.
hip hop variant, DMX homage. I believe the album was Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood,
Yeah.
something like that.
Hmm.
A CGC 99. I didn't even know this existed, dude. 99 sold for $1,000 US. This was a cover price shaker of the week. I think that is an interesting sale, but this being a 99, especially with that black going on the cover,
Yeah.
that I wonder if that was. I wouldn't even say that was a bad buy.
Yeah. I mean, what do you do with all the black? You're almost guaranteed a cover rub or a color rub, right? So it's like that's crazy. But this is a beautiful cover. I know these hip hop variants were huge. A lot of people loved them, and we're collecting all of them. It was not really my thing, but this probably was the best one out of all of them, in my opinion. And
Yeah.
it's epic with X-23 there. I mean,
Oh yeah.
Wolverine. Sorry, but great cover, dude. Good. Yeah, hell yeah. CGC 9.9 with this cover, that wouldn't be going anywhere. That'd be a collection.
Oh yeah, dude. Absolutely. I think that one would go to the grave with me.
Yeah.
Yep. But Very impressed to see not just the price on this one, but the existence of a 99 on this copy. So I believe it's the only one that is in existence in a 99.
Awesome.
So there you go. We now know what it's worth. All right. Next book, dude. Brandon Lee.
Hmm.
Brandon Lee is the Crow. And as much as everybody wants to see the Crow come back, those are some big shoes to fill, man.
Yeah.
It was such a tragedy, but the Crow, I think it's Leaf, number 3. This is the MegaCon 2022 Virgin Metal cover, and it was limited to 75 copies. I hope it's true that it was limited to 75. There's not others that might pop up like Spawn, but
Right.
CGC 98 sold for $525 US. That's pretty good coin. If there is only 75 copies, I think that was a fair buy. I don't think that was
Oh yeah.
expensive considering, and it was a cover price shaker. Like I said, Brandon Lee, dude, the Crow. I just to show you how different parents are back in the day, and now today's parents. I
Hmm.
was watching the Crow. I was a kid, dude. I was barely what, maybe 11 years old.
Dude, that opening scene where like they come in and like rape and kill rape and
Yeah,
kill his wife or girlfriend or whatever, and him, like it was aggressive, you know.
yeah, it
Um,
was.
yeah, I mean, this is a beautiful cover. The black and white like totally pulls out the Crow, you know, and if it's like you said, if it's a virgin metal as well, I mean, this is a good price. It's crazy to me that the Crow hasn't been remade. I mean, when was this? This was 90s? Was the Crow came out in the 90s,
Yep, in
right?
the 90s, dude.
And yeah, Brandon Lee, obviously epic, and the story behind it is, heartbreaking. But Hollywood doesn't care. They don't give a shit, you know. So it's
Yeah,
wild. The Crow has never. I know there's always been rumors about it coming back, but it's wild that they haven't pushed it. They
yeah.
haven't
Now,
come out yet.
unfortunately, there were some Crow movies, and I say unfortunately after Brandon Lee's
Right,
passing, and those were
2, 3, and
literally,
4 or something like that, right? They do like 4
yeah,
of them.
they were stinkers. I absolutely hated them, but this one, again, like I said, showing you the difference in between parenting. This was part of my childhood. Yes, I get to say that. I get to say that with pride, and I absolutely love this movie, man. And I really feel like Brandon Lee would have been a huge thing, man, afterwards, right?
Yeah, yeah,
But very unfortunate. But again, this book very impressive. $525 US, only 75 copies. So I,
that's
I
a good
wish
book.
I wish to own this. If I could afford it and I see one on sale, I might grab that.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yep. But all right, man. This one blew my mind, dude. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers number 0, only available at Comic Pro event. So this is the only place you could have got it. A CGC 98 sold for
Wow.
$783 US, man. This was a cover price shaker, and rightfully so that it's shaking because, dude, that is good coin for this cover, man. What's your thoughts?
I'm a massive Power Rangers fan. Like I've been reading this run, started by Kyle Higgins, everything that they've done. I'm still reading. I think issue 112 just came out last week. I love all the Power Ranger stuff. I love the spinoffs. I'm reading them all. It's great. And like this is a classic cover. I mean, they did these on the collected editions too. So every collected edition was one of the Rangers like this holding the helmet. It was beautiful. You know what would have made this book even better is if it was the Green Ranger. And
Oh
I
yeah,
and I say that not by like personal preference. I say that because he's obviously the fan favorite of everyone, right? So,
yeah,
um, if you would have had a Tommy there, shit, up
yeah.
that price by like $200 probably.
Oh, easily. And it's
Yeah,
funny you say that because this is a trend that's still ongoing, right? And we've seen it with the Ninja Turtles, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers crossovers, and so forth. So
yeah,
we've seen multiple, and like I said, they're still going on. We've had Lord Dracon. We've seen so
mhm,
many of these, but I think you're right here because we did get the Green Ranger, but had we got this swapped out,
you're right.
considering that there was only one way of getting this, I definitely think this would have probably been a bit higher. But
Yeah,
I mean, besides the Green Ranger, I
yeah.
would say Red Ranger is a fair second,
Oh
unless,
yeah.
well, I would say Pink Ranger for other reasons, but definitely, definitely the red one.
Well, not if you're cutting off the head, and if it was oh god, what was her name? The actress's name? Mind
The
blank.
actress, I don't know. To me, she's always Kimberly.
This is always Kimberly. But yeah, if you'd have had her like a likeness photo, hell yeah, right there.
Of course, man. And I just want to shout out on Kenny Swag for keeping us up to date with the current score. Because, like I said, these are very important to me. I need Ayuk to put up some points, man. I need him to do it. But all right, moving on from this one, dude. Justin's in the chat. I see him here. He's your brother on the Comic-Con podcast,
Mhm.
but Star Wars 107, a newsstand copy of this. Now, this was the final issue of the series, a CGC 99, dude. 2,400 US dollars.
That's crazy.
Cover price shaker. Yeah, this is big. This is a big sale. But again, final issue. I wouldn't say most final issues do well, right? But given that this is a newsstand and you've got a pretty awesome group of people right there, you got pretty much all the favorites, right? I
Yeah.
think this is a pretty impressive buy, man.
Yeah, it's probably low print run for last issue.
Yeah.
A 9.9. I mean, let's be honest. Let's be fair. Even as a Star Wars fan, this is a horrible cover. I mean, every single one of those characters look like dog shit. It's just really bad. I don't even know what Chewbacca is. I don't think that's a Wookiee. I don't know what the hell that thing is. And the ascot on Lando. Like, come on, man. I don't
Yep.
know. It's really
Yep.
bad. But
Yeah,
yeah.
it's just the way he's holding Lando. It's kind
Yeah,
of concerning.
what's going on? Is there something we don't know? There's like maybe
Yeah.
just story there. But yeah, 9.9, hell yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Just to make a correction, it wasn't a 99. So just correcting everybody. It was a 9.8. It was a 9.8, not a 9.9. So a
Okay.
9.8. And I was actually
Still.
checking the census, so that's a typo. But I was checking the census, and it doesn't say on CGC, if it's a newsstand or if it's a direct copy. It just says how many are on the census in 9.8s. But regardless of the fact, it makes me wonder how many newsstands are in existence, right? And graded. So
Mhm.
yeah. But all right, moving on from this one. This is a neat cover that just recently dropped. It's Birds of Prey #2. This is a 1 in 50 ratio. Yeah, I see what you're doing there, Manimal. But covered by Otto Schmidt. Now, raw high sale was $199.99 US, so 200 US dollars. Near
Mhm.
mid face market value 162 US dollars. Pretty impressive. This one came in at number 1 on CBSI, number 12 on cover price. So that's pretty impressive numbers, man, for a 1
Yeah.
in 50.
No, it's a good cover. Yeah, I'm not reading Birds of Prey, but it's a cool cover.
Yeah, it is. Would I go out and spend $200? That's the question. I don't think so. I don't think so. But
Yeah.
I'm curious to see now what this will go for once we start seeing some slabs come back, CGC 9.8s and so forth. So
Yeah,
I'll,
I
I'll
think this is gonna be hard to hold its value, but I don't
yeah,
know.
I'll be keeping an eye. That's for sure. But all right, moving on from this book, dude. We again, another thing we talk about in our group chat is video games and video game books. Literally video games. Justin's been grading some games, man.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. He's got me wanting to do the same. But Tomb Raider Journeys #1. This is an Adam Hughes cover, and clearly the love for Adam Hughes is out there because the CGC 9.8 came back $300 US on the secondary market as a sale. Cover price shaker of the week. I think this is a beautiful cover, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Adam Hughes knows what he's doing. The crowd he's appealing to here with this cover, and it's a beautiful cover. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Uni X is in the house. Uni, man, the fact he's even in this chat while this game is going on, one, it either means that he definitely is here to show some support, show some love, or San Francisco is just dominating and he could take a break. One of the two. One of the two. But yeah, man, I think this is a neat cover. To be honest with you, I've never even seen this out in the wild anywhere. Like, I wonder what the scarcity is of the census and so forth. So I'll be going to check out some of that after this show. But a book that made the list pretty impressive as well was Transformers #1, dude. So this was the 1 in 100 ratio. It's a foil cover by Greg Tocchini and a CGC 9.8 pre-sale. This is a pre-sale, dude. $480, 59 cents Canadian on the Bay. That's
Mhm.
right, on eBay. Raw copies going between 200 to 240 Canadian. This one came in at number 3 on CBSI. You're a Transformers fan.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad I didn't see this or I know about this book too much in advance because I've kind of been on the train here with the Transformers stuff, and I don't know. I have no idea if they're going to hold the value. You know what I mean? Moving forward, but I like Daniel Warren Johnson, and this Starscream cover is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's this is a great cover. I think it's awesome. I'd love to have it. I don't think I'll go out for it, but I'd love to have this book.
Yeah. No, it's neat. But again, foil, baby. This is a
Yeah.
foil.
Well, but if it's outside of New York Comic Con, is it acceptable? It might be acceptable right now. So if it's foil outside of New York Comic Con, okay, I'm okay with it right now.
You're just, yeah,
I'll let
dude.
it pass.
New York Comic Con, man. I think you're gonna have to walk in with your shades, bro.
Shit, dude.
You're gonna be getting all the reflection
Right,
from the
man.
comics. But yeah, man. So pretty interesting to see on a pre-sale, $480, 59 cents Canadian. So curious to see if this holds, and maybe this guy just got a little FOMO bit, right? At 480, but we'll see. We'll see. Already raw copies at 200 and 240, so that's pretty impressive. And yeah, man, dude, I agree with Hoodrat, dude. The read was pretty good.
Yeah, I liked it too.
Yeah. Oh, how you liking the Energon universe at the moment?
You know, it's good. I just actually just read Void Rivals 4 just the other day. And
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it. You know, it takes a little bit. Obviously, you're building a new universe and you're also bringing in some existing characters with a lot of baggage and I say baggage not in a bad way, but like there's you can't mess up Joe and you can't mess up Transformers, right? Like you'll
Yeah.
piss off a ton of people. So I think they're doing a good job. Kirkman knows what he's doing. It feels a little Oblivion song-esque in a
Yes.
way,
Yes.
which
That's a good comparison, by the way.
yeah, and which I don't know. Like I liked Oblivion song well enough. It kind of went on. It was way too many issues, to be honest. They should have kept that more concise. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm there for it. I'm gonna keep reading the Intergon universe.
Yeah.
So for
Yep.
sure.
But all right, man, let's talk about this big, huge sale, dude. So Spawn 185, the black and white variant, death of Al Simmons, and the first appearance of Jim Downing, who later goes on to become Spawn. CGC 96 sold for 17,100 US dollars. Cover price shaker, dude. This is not chump change, and this is not a typo. I made a typo on the 99. I didn't make a typo on the price.
Yeah, dude. I want to be honest. I want to say something that probably pisses a lot of people off, but I don't get Spawn. I don't get it. And I
Yeah,
get it. Like, I'm not trying to dog the people who are massive Spawn fans because there are massive Spawn fans out there.
yeah.
But like, I tried to read Spawn. I read up to 50 issues of Spawn and I just could not get into it. But I know it. I know people love the Spawn stuff. And I mean, if this is your thing, 17,000 for a 9.6, dude.
That's nuts.
I look at this price and I think, okay, you spent 17,000 on a black and white variant for Spawn. You could have spent 17,000 on an Xmen 1,
Yeah.
Fantastic Four 1, something like that. That's like actually like a blue chip key that will go up and will
Yep.
always have that value. I don't know if this book will. I don't know. Like you have to find the person who will buy that. I won't buy that. Like I would buy those other books. I won't buy this.
Yep.
So
So it's just interesting to put out there as well. According to the CGC census, now this comes directly from cover price. Only 33 copies of this book are graded. There are currently 8 9.8s and only 6 9.6s. So again,
yeah,
I imagine due to scarcity and so forth, the whole black and white variants, cool.
yeah.
But that's some pretty impressive numbers, man. A 9.8 sale in 2013 sold for
Wow.
$2,700. So
Wow.
yeah,
For
absolutely.
a modern book. And yeah, I mean, obviously the scarcity, but
Yeah,
that's crazy.
yeah. Look, this I agree with, man. Hard Knocks Gunslinger is very well done. I really dig Gunslinger. I don't know about this one. It's rare and all, but not that rare. So, and this coming from the mouth, so to speak, of
Mhm.
Michael Baker, who is a huge Spawn fan. Now, I want to bring up another Spawn book. I don't know if you guys remember. It was gonna be the Baker Shaker, but it made the list, so I didn't even bother making the slide. But it made cover prices after Shaker list this week, and it was Spawn 228. Now, if you don't remember, the Spawn 228 cover is the Action Comics homage
Mhm.
with Superman, the car. That book, according to to cover price, sold for give me a second, $800 back in August. Now a $909 raw near mint copy, that was a sale that took place last week. That was raw. So Michael Baker hit me up and he said that on Comic Link it actually sold for on October 2nd for $1,005 US. So that's pretty impressive as well. And it was the black and white. So some Spawn love this week.
Always Spawn love, man.
Yeah, I wonder if it's the same guy who's just buying. He's got money to throw, right? But there you go, man. So Zach, those were the books of the week.
Oh,
Now
yeah.
we do have some hot topics to talk about. You and I were talking a little bit before the show. We spoke obviously through messaging, but some cool news broke this week. But there's been some other things that took place this week. So we'll
Yeah.
touch on that within the comic world. But yeah, Michael Baker, I bid on that Comic Link auction, dude.
Damn.
Yeah, I wonder if he got outbid right at the end. Were you gunning for it right at the end? But yeah, man. So hot topics of the week, Zach. It's gonna be the last segment of the show, so I want to hear it from your gut, baby. Are you ready?
Let's do it, man. Let's get into it. I live for the drama.
You live for it. We all live for the drama.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm here.
But all right, man. So hot topics of the week. Now let's kick it off with the first one. It's actually not this uncanny swag. It didn't make the news, but yes, apparently Fantastic Forecasting is pretty much going to be announced very shortly. So I think I've got an idea. We've got that Vanessa Kirby stuff that was floating around.
Yeah.
That we'll see if Adam Driver makes his way, but yeah, I'll wait for more news to break before we start talking on that. But the first topic, dude, God's #1 has launched, right? So to your left, you've got the first print right there, and then to your right, this second printing already went to FOC before its release, right? It hasn't even released up until Wednesday that just passed, and this passed FOC just a few days before that. So this went straight to second print with absolutely no idea what the book was going to be like. Now it was a pretty expensive book, $9.99 again. Um, I don't even want to talk prices; it really pisses me off. But I read this one. You read this one.
Yeah.
I just want to say immediately out the gate, I feel like the entire community, everybody who picked up this book and read it, felt the exact same way about Win, who is the character right there on your front and
Yeah.
center on the left cover. Very, very much the Constantine vibes, right? Did you feel that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we talked about it last week on the podcast as well with Gods. Is Hickman's the best at what he does, right? And like Chia Pet said, and I said it last week too. You're bringing this new character, and he's supposedly been around for a really long time, right?
Yeah.
Like he's been around since the onset, and that's hard to do, to bring into the mainstay MCU and make it feel organic and
Yeah.
like he's been there. And Hickman did it seamlessly. I thought it was really great how he did it. I'm excited for moving forward on this book. It's something new. I want to see maybe a status quo change with the MCU. It's something, or with Marvel, I'm sorry. And you don't really see that always, right? Like you get all these bullshit events in Marvel that don't end up doing anything.
Yeah.
Hickman comes in and he changes shit, whether you like it or not. He changes shit. I mean, the Secret Wars stuff, the X-Men stuff. I mean, there'll be some change here, and I'm ready for it.
Yes, and within the book, there were a lot of callbacks to different things too, right? Like you did get some of that Secret War stuff too. There
Yeah.
were callbacks to that. Now, I thought it was a great read. There was moments where it was kind of confusing. Like I needed to do some homework on what was
Classic
taking place.
Hickman. Yeah.
Yeah, so that definitely takes place, but it's a pretty good story. I really enjoyed the character. I kind of like how he played his little sidekick over there to actually
Yeah.
save the day at
You know
the
what it
end.
reminded me of? Did you ever watch Quantum Leap, like the old school Quantum Leap?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
man.
his like partner felt like Ziggy, like in Quantum Leap, like the guy he always talked to over the little machine he
Yeah,
had. That's the vibes I got, were Ziggy vibes the whole time, and I was there for it, man. I loved Quantum Leap, so
yeah. That's
I
a good
liked it too, dude.
Yeah, good comparisons, but we are so lucky. Hickman doing new series in Gods and now Ultimate Universe, which is very different. And yeah, I agree, man. Hickman is one of my favorites. I say this very often when it
Yeah.
comes to the current writers of people, writing what we're reading. But yeah, I thought Gods was a fair read. I'm looking forward to seeing where this all goes. Now, I will say one of my immediate thoughts was seeing the exchanges with Doctor Strange and so forth. I was like, man, he almost feels like he would fit in the current MCU stuff on the big screen, right? It's like
Mhm.
it's a character that I almost felt like always existed. Now, I don't know if it's
Yeah.
because he just felt so much like Constantine, right? I felt like I've read this character before, but yeah, man, I could see him playing out also immediately into the MCU.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where they go with this.
Yep.
I hope they don't lean too much on the Marvel characters. You know what I mean? Like characters, and I thought they did a really good job with that. Where it's like, hey, he knew Strange. There's some interaction there, but it's not heavy on Strange. You don't need Strange isn't like overtaking the storyline, and it's not a crutch.
Yeah,
And I think Hickman does that stuff well. So
he does. He does. But I'm on board. All this to say, I'm on board, man. But all right. Another topic. So Hudson Thames will voice Spider-Man in Spider-Man freshman year. So a few things I want to mention, and the main reason why I brought this up is because I personally understood that Tom Holland was going to be doing it. That was the rumor up until now. But it looks like the voice actor who was in the What If series, who voiced Spider-Man, is now going to be doing freshman year. And secondly, I actually thought this was canceled, dude. There's been no talks of this series whatsoever. Like we're hearing X-Men 97, we're hearing everything else.
mhm.
None of Spider-Man freshman year up until now. So pretty neat. I'm happy to see it's still up and running. But yeah, like the voice character, cool. Like I said, I thought it was gonna be Tom Holland, but this doesn't change anything for me. I think the bigger news is that this is still underway.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty indifferent on voice actors for the most part. I mean, it's cool if it's the live action, but I don't really care too much.
Yeah. Again, I'm looking forward to the whole freshman year. I'm gonna see. I don't know if it's gonna tie into anything Tom Holland related within the MCU, but I'm looking forward to this project and probably biased because I'm a big Spider-Man fan.
Yeah.
But all right. Other news, my friends. We were talking New York Comic Con. Now, CGC announced that they're going to have an exclusive label for New York Comic Con. As you can see right there with the Statue of Liberty. Looks pretty cool. Now, there's quite a few people, even within this community, who are going to have booths set up there. Example, Pressable Defects with Erod and Very Gary. They're going to have some book exclusive that they're going to put out there. I think it's a cool idea. If you want to just have that, memory display, I guess. But this is
Yeah.
only available at New York Comic Con. So they're gonna have this at the CGC booth. But the labels, dude. First off, what do you think of the New York Comic Con idea of making a label?
I mean, it's a pretty good idea. That's not to say that I'm with it or not, but it's a good idea. It's kind of surprised they haven't actually done it before, to be honest with you, with that or like San Diego.
Right?
But yeah, I mean, you do go to a con. Some people want that, like, hey, look, I got this at New York Comic Con 2023. I was there because not everyone goes or can go. You know what I mean? Like someone from
Yeah.
like middle of the US or Canada or whatever makes a trip to New York Comic Con. It's not an every year thing. So you memorialize it with that. Like, yeah, it's cool. I'll tell you what, like, I wouldn't think twice about it. Like, I wouldn't pay extra for it for
Sure.
sure. But I do like the graphic. I think it's a really cool graphic. They chose a good picture. I mean, either to each their own, bro. Like, I don't. This doesn't bug me. I feel like we're hearing some hate, right? Too, like people are like, oh,
Yep.
this is bullshit or whatever. Like, people just can't be happy. Who
Yep.
cares? Don't get it. Like, or just
Exactly.
don't get it, dude. Like, it's an option you don't have to take. So,
Exactly, man. So I agree with everything you just said about it. I think it's pretty neat if you want to just say, "Hey, I was at New York Comic Con," or
yeah,
maybe send your friends some books and pretend you were there. Make them get it graded if they're going. But yeah, man. So like you said as well. I'm pretty indifferent to this, but
yeah,
it seems some people were loving it and some people were hating it. So just
yeah.
thought it would be fun to bring up. Nemesis saying, I heard the
Yeah,
Comic
dude.
Con podcast has an exclusive label for New York Comic
He
Con.
wasn't supposed to say that, dude. It's so secret and under wraps.
I
So,
actually have your exclusive comic not too
dude,
far by. But speaking exclusive comics, that is a topic we are going to speak on right
yeah,
now. So, exclusive comic controversy again. It seems like Melinda Comics may have rubbed the feathers of Coffin Comics. So a video was put out by them as well, stating that by no means did she ask at all if she can, do the cover that she had done for Lady Death. So
mm,
the video made its rounds, and Melinda Comics basically put out a exclusive cosplay cover, which she does very often for many books. So now she did it of Lady Death from Coffin Comics, and the video went out saying that No, she didn't ask for permission. So if you did buy a copy, immediately trash it.
Mm,
Now, conversation was had between both parties, and you saw she posted that she trashed her copies, right?
yeah.
So those copies have been trashed, which big ups to her at least for doing that. But exclusive comics, I mean, first and foremost, you guys just did one not too long ago with Mad Love, and you
Yeah.
had Dr. Afra on that, so maybe you can give that perspective on it as well.
Yeah,
But
so
yeah, go ahead.
it's tricky, right? I mean, and everyone's gonna have their stance on this, right? And whether you agree with what she did, whether you agree with what we did, you know, it is what it is. Probably not gonna be able to change your mind, to be honest with you. In terms of the books we did with Mad Love, it's a little different, I guess. I'm not entirely familiar with like what the guts of her book was with
Yeah,
this. Ours was an art print book, though, right? So just some background. Mad Love will find artists. This is a very boiled down version of what Mad Love does. He finds an artist. This one it was Japes Archer, and picks a cover. And we did the Dr. Afro version, and
yeah,
in the guts is all of his work. So it's various characters or art that he wants or that he's chosen in the guts. There's no story, no content, anything like that. It's an art print book to memorialize this artist and kind of get him out there.
yeah,
Um, the difference as well with our book, a character like Dr. Afra is a Marvel character. It's a big two,
yeah,
and did we did we reach out to Marvel? No, I did not talk to anyone from Marvel, neither did Justin. Say maybe we had permission from, Kieran Gillen to use Dr. Afra.
yeah,
Obviously that character is owned by Marvel, but whatever. I don't know. Did we steal? Sure. I don't know. Who knows, right?
yeah,
But it- Coffin Comics and these independent people, it's a little different, right? These are creator owned. I mean, this is kind of what we saw with like Image, the creation of Image Comics, everyone moving in Distillery and all these different
yeah,
things to creator owned stuff. So does he have a right to kind of like be like, hey, look, man, I'm the gatekeeper for my character? Sure, it's his character, a lot of people are talking about the legality. Can he go after it legally? And everyone's so sure that they know, which is such bullshit too. Like all these
yeah,
comic nerds out here, like, oh, you're just super savvy on the law, and like, give me a break, dude. Like, so everyone's, oh, he can get her legally. Oh, he can't get her legally. I
yeah,
don't know. I thought they handled this, and I'm sure we'll talk about it more, but in a nutshell, I thought they handled the situation very well, right?
yeah,
Coffin Comics came out and said, look, you didn't ask my permission. I wasn't happy with this. Trash the books, blah, blah, blah. She came out and also said, my bad. Shouldn't have done it. Um,
yeah.
whatever. Apology, So I don't know. What do you think, man? I mean, like, what's your stance on it?
No, I agree with you, man. Look, on both sides, like I can understand one side and I can understand the other. So I'm indifferent to this. It's not like I'm
Yeah.
playing, screw her or screw him type thing. Like I'm not for any of that, but I just saw some of this, going around, and it was making its rounds on social media. And
Right.
I think she handled well. To be honest with you, it was kind of like, okay, no problem. You called it out, and I'll do what I got to do. I don't think she, you know, took another approach where she could have maybe said, well, you know what, let's go all the way with this or something, because she invested money into that.
Mhm.
So that's at a loss. And kind of like what Uni said, this isn't the first time it's happened. It's definitely not the last time it's
Right.
going to happen. And to give you more insight into it, like, yeah, okay, she's using a cover of a character, so she's doing a cosplay cover of Lady Death. But like, let's move on and see, some of the stuff that they've done as well, Coffin Comics, where they're doing full pin homage covers, right? So
Mhm.
they're not using the actual characters, which keeps them within fair play here. But
Right.
just to give you an idea that homage covers do happen now, using an actual cover, sorry, using an actual character of somebody, that might be crossing the line. And so I can understand where Coffin Comics came from. And I also you know see Melinda's stuff, and she puts out tons of covers that are just cosplay covers. So
Yeah.
I guess this is the first time something has happened for in such a manner for her. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the bigger companies, well, majority of companies, when you're doing an exclusive for their comic, you see, you were talking Mad Love,
Mhm.
how it's basically a promotion of the artist, right? So
Right.
like it goes a totally different route. Whereas you want to do an exclusive cover for, I don't know, we'll just say Venom 3. I'm just saying any
Mhm.
book. Venom 3, you got to go through paperwork. You got to make sure you're doing example 3,000 trades and 1,000
Right.
virgins or whatever it may be. Same thing happens with even indie comics, right? And now I know the numbers are way lower when it comes to indie comics. You know, if you want to do an exclusive, there's coin behind that. There's coin behind that. So I'm sure she invested some coin here. How all of that went on behind the scenes, nobody knows. But I'd imagine it's kind of like what you were just saying, right? It was all right. Well, we're gonna do this cosplay book and use the character. I think
Mhm.
that's the main issue is that she used the character,
Yeah.
and it pissed them off.
Yeah, and I think one of the other issues as well is this like this cosplay loophole, right? Like you're doing the
Yeah,
cosplay variant, and I think some people are out there, and I don't know, and I don't want to speak on this and say for sure that this was the case, but I know people are saying this because she has done this in the past. It was, AI generated as well. So
yeah,
then you kind of run into this. Okay, well, you're using cosplay, but if it's AI generated, is that still cosplay? You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like it's a little washy there. I don't know.
exactly.
Like I don't know. I guess I really am kind of indifferent on this situation. I think what kind of pissed me off the most, and look, I have no issue with Melinda. I don't know her. I don't like her. I don't
Likewise.
dislike her. Pretty indifferent on the whole aspect. But I think some things that kind of pissed me off. It's just typical with the community, right? Like she's obviously a beautiful woman,
Yeah,
and people want to see her fall. So they're out here like, oh yes, let's see her taken down. And there's been some really disparaging comments, which are not cool, like out there. Like I'm not even going to repeat some of the stuff that I've seen on people say
yeah,
on different channels and whatnot. But I think the issue here that I didn't like, I did see someone say something like, so this is kind of, no one really knows what my stance is. I guess I'm kind of going back and forth here, but I heard someone say, well, this is bullshit. Coffin Comics is coming after her because she's a woman. They wouldn't do this. Why don't they go after all these other? So there's two things that were said that pissed me off. Someone goes, this has happened, like you said, this happens all the time. People do this all the time, right? Why
yeah,
don't they go after those four other times? They're just going after her. Like, if you're either go after all of them or go after none of them. Well, that's like the dumbest comment in the world. Like, think
yeah,
about, let's just talk about crime in general. Like, you have 5 crimes committed, all burglary, and you only go after, you can't find 4 of them, you go after one of them. Can
yeah,
you come back and be like, well, you didn't go after those 4. Let's let that burglar go. Like it's
yeah,
bullshit. Who gives a shit? You got one of them. That's all you got. So
yeah,
I thought that was dumb. And then the other comment made by the same person was that along the lines of like, well, it's just because she's a girl. You're going after her because she's a girl. And honestly, that really rubbed me the wrong way. Multiple reasons because one, she markets herself based
yeah.
on her looks and her sex appeal and stuff like
100%.
that. And like there's no shame in that at all. Like I don't judge her. Like do what you
Nope.
got to do.
Yep.
But you don't get to play, and I'm not saying she's not saying these things. So let me preface that by saying it's not her making these claims, but you can't sell sex and then be upset when people like come after you for being like, oh, well, you're coming after me because I'm a woman or whatever. Well, you've presented yourself that way. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you. So that comment by this other person was pretty stupid, in my
Yeah.
opinion. I don't know. I mean, I think through this has been like a couple days, right? This stuff kind
Yeah,
of
exactly, exactly. And to be honest with you, it kind of boiled down very
yeah.
fast. So I'm
Yeah.
pretty impressed by that.
I've gone back and forth, I think, on my opinion on this. To be honest, I genuinely don't give a shit because I wouldn't have bought any of her books anyway. Like that's not the stuff I buy. So I
Yeah.
was like, whatever, dude. Cosplay books, Lady Death. I've never read Lady Death. I don't read Coffin Comics. Just haven't done it. Nothing of this was of any interest to me outside of like the drama, I guess. But I don't know.
E exactly, man, and you nailed it on the head, man. That's pretty much it. Is you saw some little rumblings going on, and I did as well. So that's why we're bringing it up.
Yeah,
Now I'm also indifferent. I don't feel any way. I could understand both sides, like I said, and I'm actually pretty impressed to see how both parties just said, okay, not a problem.
yeah.
We'll just hash this out, and something that we almost never see take place within the community.
Well, and I saw on McClay's show he reached out to Coffin Comics and asked it like, hey, would you like to come on? Would you like to talk about it? Blah blah blah. And they basically were like, no, dude, we're good. We solved it. It's all good. It's
There
all
you go.
done. Like squash. Let's move on. And
Yep.
like, yes, let's do it. Like this is such bullshit. Who gives a
Yep.
shit? Like even myself included. Like I never would have bought this book. Like why the hell do I even have an opinion or care about this? Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Exactly, man. Well said. And dude, like I was saying earlier, I'm just, putting it out there for what it is,
Yeah,
right? We saw it going around and it got hashed out very quick. So props to both of them. And yeah, I guess we'll see. You know how.
We'll see what the next hustle will be. And like someone else said in the comments that she's a hustler, and that's for sure, man. Like, and good on her.
Yeah,
But sometimes you can hustle a little too hard, right? And
yeah,
I don't know. Hopefully, she learned her lesson, and legally she's okay this time, but it could be worse in the future, you know.
yeah.
So
But all right, man. Now there was some negatives this week. There was some, drama and so forth, but we were spoiled. There was some great things that happened this week. Ahsoka came to end, and we got the kickoff for season 2 of Loki. That's right. We got episode 1. So I put this up asking for thoughts because I actually already did my review and breakdown with Chiapet and Anthony from Reference Point podcast. If you guys haven't yet, go check out the video. But I was hoping you were gonna watch it in time. It's clearly the time. I understand you're
yeah,
a dad, but you did see some of the stuff that's been going around, right? So you
yeah.
saw pretty much some of the spoilers from episode 1.
Mhm.
What are your thoughts on what you've seen so far?
Yeah, I'm familiar with what occurred in a nutshell. Obviously, I love the introduction of OB. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Kihu Kwan was
Yeah,
great actor.
yeah,
That's really cool. You know, it's Marvel, right? It's Marvel Disney Plus, and so you come in episode 1, you're kind of like, okay, let's see where it goes. I have my doubts, but I try to stay positive, and I'm trying to hope that they pull it out. But really, honestly, here's my opinion on Loki. If Loki as a whole as a show doesn't really tie in into the Marvel universe and it just does this big circle jerk that Disney Plus kind of does,
yeah,
it's going to be bullshit. It really needs to move the needle on this, and that's what this new phase of Marvel is the biggest problem. The needle is not being moved, and it
yep,
needs to be moved on the Kang stuff and where we're going for Secret Wars and all that and all the Kang Dynasty stuff. But I know Justin and I talked about it as well, and I agreed with what he told me. Is it doesn't feel like Loki either. Like this isn't Loki.
yeah.
Um, we've moved way far from Loki of Asgard, right? And
Yes, no, I agree.
I'm not saying that's a bad thing. You know, you want character development as well, but I don't know if you're a Loki fan, if you're an Asgardian fan, a Thor fan. I mean, this isn't Loki. You know, it's
Yeah,
just I don't know.
yeah, no, I agree with you. Now, the MCU Loki is a totally different character, and in fact, I think the whole redemption story they're building up towards. Yeah, we were talking on the show on Thursday afterwards, and it's kind of like does what's the big payoff for Loki in all of this Kang stuff? Once everything unfolds, we finally get to Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. What's the end result for him
Right.
here? Like he's always wanted to rule Asgard. Asgard. I said Asgard, but he's always wanted to rule. Asgard. He started off very villainous, but does he end up being the one who remains at the end? Type thing. Like I think that's an idea of a payoff, right?
Mhm.
So something has to pay off for him here. That's
Yeah.
the only thing. It's kind of like you were saying. Is it going to be kind of that big circle jerk,
Yes.
so to
Sorry if
speak?
that was a little graphic.
But I do want, I am curious to see what's the end result of this. So I'm on board. I thought episode 1 was really good. There was a lot of good stuff that came out of there. Like I said, go catch it. I broke it down with the boys, and there's some neat, even little Easter eggs there,
Yeah.
little things that if you looked too fast, you missed it. Um, well done, well done. That's my quick summary, but definitely go check it out in detail on the show. And speaking show, that's the end of this show. So Zach, man, back on the YouTube airwaves.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, dude, you crushed it. You're natural. You see, you do your podcast. You got to look at you wearing your Kansas City t-shirt.
Yes, man. We snuck out a victory today. So with
You
no
did.
injuries, thankfully. We'll see how it goes the rest of the year.
I just checked my fantasy pool and I squeezed that win. So I'm now 5-0.
Nice.
I am now 5-0 in my pool. But I gotta say, man, I went back to see Kelsey because Kelsey was
Yeah,
pretty much a write-off and then made that glorious
I know.
moment, right?
Yeah, I
So
got him on my team too.
yep.
He's such a douchebag. I'm so glad he's the best tight end in the league. And he might be the best tight end of all time at the
Yeah.
end of his career. But as a person, God, dude, he's
Yeah.
a nightmare. I'm
Yeah.
just glad he plays for the Chiefs. That's all.
Yep. Hey man, but he's got the what are they called? The Swifties,
The
the Tay Tays.
Swifties, yeah, right. Oh, God.
whatever they're called. But Zach, man, thank you so much for hopping on. And of
Yeah.
course, before we let you go, just want to remind everybody that now, I've surpassed 300 subscribers. We have another big giveaway show taking place at 500 subscribers. So definitely sub up. And of course, this beautiful man right here, my brother, not just in comics, music as well. Yes, we're going to be talking a bit of music after the stream. But
Yes.
yes, let the people know. Comic-Con podcast this Friday.
Yeah, man. Every Friday we drop episodes. Comic-Con podcast. You can find us on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, anywhere you pick up your podcasts. Myself, Nemesis Prime. Also have our own Instagrams. Follow us there. We have a Comic-Con podcast as well, Instagram account. This week might be a little interesting. I know we have NYCC and Justin will be up there.
Yep.
I might have a guest host, might do something solo, might do something with Justin. We're still trying to iron that out. But like always, every Friday something will drop. And yeah, man, we got to get you to come back, dude, sometime.
Anytime, baby.
Yeah,
That's I'm
sure.
always willing to hop on. I'm kind of glad I didn't though. I was supposed to hop on Thursday, but then hearing Newbie and Rocksteady did a great job.
Yeah,
Great job. So did
fun
the
episode.
Comic Dunes, but
Yeah.
Newbie.
Oh yes, and like Justin said, we still have some T-shirts left.
Yes.
Cruise through the Comic-Con podcast IG page as well, and you can see some exclusive 2023, let's call it, Comic-Con podcast T-shirts. We still have a couple sizes. At least one of each size, I think, is still available. I could be wrong. The larges might be gone, but check it out. Justin will let you know if you're looking for specific size.
Yes, sir, man, and they're beautiful. I can't wait to get mine. Hopefully, I don't get it a year later because it is being sent to Newbie before it gets to me.
Right.
But yeah, man, definitely go check them out. The T-shirts are pretty much Star Wars homage, right?
Yes, yeah,
pretty,
Empire Strikes Back homage for sure. So
yeah, pretty badass. So definitely go and check it out. Get yourself a T-shirt before they run out. Like you said, he's got like maybe one of each left, so they went pretty quickly. But again, Zach, thank you so much. I will definitely take you up on that offer if Justin's willing to have me back on the show. But yeah, man, I will definitely be there. And of course, guys, New York Comic-Con is taking place next weekend. So looking forward to talking with you guys next Sunday night, talking about, all the stuff that took place that weekend. I'll be checking out, all the IGs, seeing some of those sales because yes, some people already got some pre-sales on those exclusives. So those are going to be hitting the market. Definitely going to be a fun show next week. And of course, Loki episode 2 drops this Thursday. So definitely come check out the after show review Beyond Time with myself, Chia Pet, and Anthony from Reference Point Comics. Guys, have yourselves a great week. Happy Thanksgiving to all the fellow Canadians and all of the Americans enjoying Columbus Day tomorrow. I know, Zach's got his beer right there. I'm pretty sure he polished it off.
Yeah, I need to go get another one.
There you go. But have yourselves a great week, and I will catch you guys this Thursday on the Loki after show breakdown, baby. Good night, guys. See you
guys.
then.